Hey, Nick Marzak with Full Compass. We are at the Harman Experience Center. I'm talking with Frank Joseph. You are the
Senior Director of Marketing for North America for the Pro Division.
Pro Division of Harman, a Samsung company. Where do you want to start today?
Well, let's start talking about our headphone technology in general. So, obviously in the pro business, there's a lot of headphones. Mm-hmm. Headphones are an important part of the recording process. And headphones are extremely important when you're mixing, podcasting, or just, producing music at home. The technology that we have in our headphones is really the result of years and years of research and development around listening techniques. In this building here that houses the Experience Center, we also have a series of labs, anechoic chambers, and a great team of headphone designers. That's all they do is work on trying to make the best headphones. What's really at here today is really kind of some new and some legacy products as well. So starting with some of our K872s, our 712s, which is really in our mastering area of headphones. So really high-end, high-quality, closed-back headphones. As we start to kind of move down the wall here to our 702s, which are one of our legacy products, we kind of make our way to the 361 and 371, which is really some of our newest technology. The really great thing about this is a lot of content creators are on the go today. Producers are mixing literally on airplanes.
Yeah.
These are foldable, so you can fold headphones there like that as well. These come in wired and Bluetooth versions. So you saw obviously a huge need for customers to be able to mix on their laptop plugged in, but then also check their mix on their phone and be able to connect through Bluetooth. We know that Bluetooth connectivity is kind of like the cassette tape of the past. So checking your mix on the fly and being able to connect via Bluetooth is something that we heard loud and clear from customers. It was important. Some of the differences between the 361 and 371 is that they're both over ear. So they're both made for long periods of listening. But if you notice on the 371, it's got a higher quality headband, leather headband here, as opposed to traditional headband here as well.
Sure.
And then there's special tuning that the 371 has, which we call the Harman Target Curve. And that's really the result of years and years of research done here by our Harman staff. Or Dr. Sean Olive, who leads our research here, spent a lot of time developing the Harman Target Curve. We put that into this product so that when you're mixing your podcast, your mix, it's going to sound just as good anywhere else when you play it back. As we kind of move down, we have some more of our products here that are probably very familiar. Our K271s, which are closed back. But as you make your way down, K240s, which have been industry standard for a very long time.
I don't think I've ever been into a recording studio that this isn't the tracking headphones.
Yeah, the industry standard.
Yep.
And the thing that really makes these unique is the headband as well. Of course, the sound quality, the frequency response. But the headband, if you're in the studio for long periods of time, you start to get headphone fatigue, right? The design around this is fundamentally based on trying to make the headphone as comfortable as possible. The tension here, as you can see, and if you kind of feel that headband, it's pretty lightweight.
There is tension, but not too much where it feels like it's gripping you, and that's why I love these.
Yeah, that's the as I mentioned, clamp force. As you design, that's why some headphones, even on our headphones, you'll find that some of them have a little bit tighter clamp force, and some are a little bit looser. These are all derivatives of some of the technology, K92 as well, K72, all over-ear headphones. Some of it, as you know, some of the bands are a little bit different. Here, this goes to a more firm of a kind of metal band here. So really, it's about how do we hit different price points, deliver the same quality, the same experience, but also hit some lower price points.
Yeah. Are there big differences between like the K72, the K92, and then jumping to this series with the 240 and the 271? Are they similar drivers or are they different?
In some cases, as you look at K240, K240 MK2s, very similar drivers. I certainly could dive deep into that, and that would be a long conversation. But really, where you start to see the bigger differences is you start to go up the line.
Yeah.
Because our headphones go, up to start at under 100 and go all the way up to several thousand. So as you start to get into those higher end price points, the drivers change, the quality of the drivers change. Sure. Without getting into the details, the answer is yes. There is a lot of differences as you start to walk up the line. But I think really fundamentally, as you think about AKG and headphones for in the studio, that's an area that we've really focused on for years and years in developing the best-in-class quality.
Yep.
And as you can see, as you watch a lot of videos from, the 60s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, chances are, whether it's a music video, something in the studio, anything, that you find out there on YouTube, chances are there's an AKG product somewhere in those videos. And a lot of that is based on, best-in-class, first-to-market with a lot of our technology, but also being, synonymous with the studio and people recording. And that's transferred into the whole studio. So what's great about recording today is you can accomplish just about anything that you could 10 years ago in a big studio, in your home studio. It's just a matter of having the right products, and that's where we feel like AKG has a spot in your home studio.
I think from like here down, I've had, some personal experience with.
Absolutely.
Podcasters sometimes will ask me, like, how much should this cost? I always say, like, do you want to spend $200? Do you want to spend $4,000 on, starting this? And AKG, you have something for everybody on that spectrum.
We do. And I think it's a really good point, about asking, what should a customer buy? And obviously we hear that a lot. And it's always, I think the microphone and your headphones are really the two resources that you want to probably spend a little bit more than you maybe have, because headphones are going to be a critical part of your listening, your monitoring, your mixing, and hearing those things that on a performance base that, that with an inexpensive pair of headphones or a set of headphones that aren't tuned appropriately, a lot of people will just kind of, grab consumer headphones off the shelf, and they're great headphones, but they're designed for consumer listening experiences where, pro headphones obviously have a very different approach and style, but specifically with AKG, we've been designing headphones for that customer for years, and much like on the microphone side too. So when customers ask that question, it's always good. How much can you afford? But can you afford a little bit more to get yourself into a product that's going to perform for you better, is going to give you a better representation of your music, and make your mixes turn out the best they possibly can.
I know exactly what you're talking about, because the first time I bought headphones to mix on, they were consumer grade, and they like to boost the bass, and they like to. And so all of my mixes ended up thin because you end up compensating, to bring down the bass because there's so much in the headphones.
Right.
Whereas these are designed to give you super crystal clear clarity and kind of an accurate representation of the frequency spectrum.
Exactly. And also, today music is made on the go. People are recording on laptops. They're making, beats in the train station. And so, having an over-ear headphone is critical to kind of block out the noise, but also a headphone that's tuned properly to make sure that when you play that back in your car, on your phone, and on a Bluetooth speaker, or even on a big system, that what you recorded is replicated and you hear, on the other end of the mix. And it's interesting. A lot of people, musicians, producers, sometimes think that, I just, any pair of headphones will do. And it's actually not the case. It's one of the most critical parts, as I mentioned, along with your microphone and your mic pre, of course, too.
Yeah.
So very critical areas to invest in to make your music sound the best.
They're ultimately all aiming at the same goal. It's just how you get there is different, and the uses and the applications. I'm going to demo all of them, I think, and I'll let everybody know what my favorite one is. All right, I got to start with these. I'm so intrigued. So these are the K872s. Whoa, feels so good. It's really isolating. I'm blown away by how little attention's on my ears. It's just so clean. Flat in a good way, because you don't want, these are reference monitors. It's like the sound that you're getting out of the microphone is the sound that's coming into your ears. Let me put these against the K712 Pros. Just beautiful. I mean, these two, I want both of them. K702, it's here. Also reference studio headphones, just super honest, very flat response, giving me the things that I want to hear. Low end response is great. The mids are clean. Everything's just kind of sitting where you hope it would sit in headphones. Oh, these feel so nice. See, these are great. Definitely more low end response here. I could tell that these ones are a little bit more built for mix referencing and master referencing, because these definitely will give you a little bit more low end. K240s, the MK2s, I've worn these 1,000 times in studio sessions. These are great tracking headphones. They feel nice, and they're not like overly squeezing my head, but still pretty great at isolation. Very clean across the board. And then moving down to the K52s. Oh, these feel good. See, you just never know. Like, these feel so good. They have really good isolation. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The song's pretty good too, so good job, Adele. She's Adele. What is this position I'm in? Like, I need to be flipping a coin. Hey, kid. And there are scientists involved in creating these things. This is really cool.